Welcome to the WealthFluent series, your guide to mastering your financial future with cutting-edge tools and clear insights. I'm David Kon, founder and CEO of WealthFluent, the financial intelligence platform. Today, I am joined by our chairman, Stanley Kon, PhD, whose expertise drives our mission to empower people to take control of their financial future. Stan, great to have you as always.
Thanks, David. Excited to dive in.
Today, we're tackling the rule of thumb. You should always pay off your mortgage before retirement. We will discuss why this isn't always the best move, explore debt's role in retirement planning, and show how WealthFluent's tools can guide your decisions. So Stan, why do advisors often push paying off a mortgage before retirement?
Well, it's a rule of thumb that appeals to an emotional bias, especially for those who lived through major economic depressions and passed the experience down. Being debt-free feels secure and simplifies cash flow. But it's a one-size-fits-all approach that can reduce wealth accumulation. Decisions should reflect personal circumstances, preferences, and market conditions.
I agree that paying down debt isn't always the best strategy. Could you provide a real example of a situation where it wouldn't make sense?
Oh, yes. 2 years ago, a retiree asked me about the advice he was getting to pay off his 2.75% fixed rate 30-year mortgage with 27 years remaining. I told him not to. 2 years ago, new originations of a mortgage were near 7.5%. And the money market rate for U.S. Treasury funds was 5.5%. I explained that the money you would use to prepay your mortgage should be invested for a profit and no risk. That is pure arbitrage. An agency mortgage-backed securities fund yielding about 6.5% with similar average maturity of the remaining life of his mortgage would yield an ongoing spread of 4%. That's the 6.5% minus 2.75%. The 0.7% less is approximately due to taking out servicing costs and the agency guarantee fee for default, not going to investors. The present value of that spread over the 27 years of remaining mortgage life is quite high. If mortgage rates came down to your rate of 2.75%, the gain on your fund investment would be roughly equal to the present value of that to 4.25% spread. If mortgage rates go up from 7.5%, the losses on fund investment will be offset by the gains on the present value of the increase in spread between the higher new mortgage rates and your fixed rate of 2.75%. A less profitable but obvious simple alternative is, instead of using the money to prepay your mortgage, invest in a government money market fund at 5.5%. For a 5.5 minus 2.75 equal to 2.75% spread. If the money market rate stays above 2.75%, the strategy makes a profit. Money market rates are lower today, about 4.25%, but still well above 2.75% on your mortgage. It should be clear to anyone that lending at a higher rate than your borrowing rate with no risk has value. You can close out either of these methods when current rates come down to your 2.75%. That is when the strategy no longer has zero risk. WealthFluent calculates your mortgage market value as rates evolve. The case we just looked at is for rising rates. It would also calculate the value of refinancing when rates decline below your existing loan rate.
Wow. Either option is a clear win. At WealthFluent, we talk about good debt versus bad debt. How does that apply to mortgages?
Good debt is when your borrowing rate is lower than your investment return with low risk. Like a well underwritten mortgage with 20% down, a 25% or less mortgage payment to income ratio, and a strong high credit score. Bad debt is the opposite, like the poor underwriting standards that caused the 2008 financial crisis, with 5% down or less, much higher debt to income ratios, and lack of income verification. That led to numerous record defaults. Ugly debt involves high leverage, high fees, and illiquid, very risky investments.
Oh, I remember. That's where I'm still wary of debt. And we see this with our users worrying about really any debt. But when we model their mortgage's market value relative to investment opportunities, they see the wealth accumulation potential. What's the catch with always paying it off?
The catch is opportunity cost and liquidity. Paying off a mortgage ties up funds in an illiquid asset, your home. Selling costs are high, reverse mortgages are much more expensive. Being able to qualify for a loan in retirement is difficult without a paycheck, and the uncertainty about future interest rates being too high when you need a loan. Locking in a low-rate mortgage by refinancing to 80% at every lower rate opportunity before retirement preserves flexibility, letting you invest for higher expected returns and access your mortgage to pay expenses in retirement by selling the investments you bought with your low interest rate mortgage. WealthFluent helps you weigh these trade-offs.
Let's dig into those trade-offs. You've said good debt can smooth consumption over time. How does a mortgage in retirement fit that?
A mortgage lets you continue to enjoy your home now while spreading out payments over time with income from investments. In retirement, it's like choosing to buy versus rent. Since landlords have to make a profit and will not pass on their lower refinancing rates to your rent, your mortgage payments with homeowner expenses are generally cheaper than renting an equivalent house. This can make staying in your home more affordable.
I see that perspective. But what about that deep emotional need people have to be debt-free? I feel it.
It's a valid preference, but WealthFluent lets users test paying off their mortgage in a what-if analysis, showing the impact on net worth and wealth accumulation. Then they can decide if peace of mind outweighs its cost. David, how do users handle this on the platform?
Well, we provide all the data necessary to analyze the decision. They can see both the market value and risk dimensions of their mortgage and potential low-risk investments based on the current market conditions. The decision to maintain a mortgage in retirement will be a sufficient increase in expected net worth throughout retirement. So Stan, how do bad or ugly debt risks fit into this?
Well, before and in retirement, high interest rate payments on credit card balances is bad debt that can significantly reduce your cash flow available for living expenses in retirement. Generally, what we call ugly debt arises whenever you have only 5% or less equity in a home, and its value drops by substantially more than that. WealthFluent monitors these risks to keep your plan on track.
So taxes are another big factor. How do mortgage interest deductions play in?
Well, they reduce taxable income. So paying off a mortgage cuts that benefit. Investing instead of prepaying can boost arbitrage profits, especially with tax location of investments. Maintain low dividend yielding investments in taxable accounts and keeping your high dividend yield investments in tax deferred accounts.
Users are often surprised by that tax hit. Our What If tool helps them test partial paydowns for a tax-efficient balance, using the mortgage's market value for clarity. It's a big aha moment. Let's get practical. What strategies should people use for managing a mortgage in retirement?
Most importantly, WealthFluent contains all the pieces required for lifetime wealth portfolio management. All the trade-offs between goals, spendings, savings, borrowing, and investment strategies are included before and through retirement. This is the context in which objective decisions like the roll of a mortgage or any debt should be decided.
Isn't it nice how it makes those choices crystal clear for our users? So great discussion, Stan. The takeaway: don't blindly pay off your mortgage before retirement. It might feel good to be debt-free, but low-rate mortgages can be exceptionally good debt if investment returns are higher. Paying it off risks liquidity and wealth accumulation for spending in retirement. The WealthFluent portfolio optimization engine, dashboards, and what-if analysis helps you compare costs, ensure flexibility, and align with your goals using your mortgage's true market value.
Well, it's about using debt smartly to boost wealth and maintain options.
Very good. Visit WealthFluent.com to try for yourself. You can build your plan and optimize your portfolio today. Subscribe to the WealthFluent series and our channels. Join us next time for more insights. And remember, be WealthFluent.